Welcome to Community Connections. I'm Kathy Millett. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and joining us on the show today are Devin Drake and Jessie Benfield-Boik. How are you guys doing today?
Hi, good, Kathy. Okay. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, no problem. Now, child abuse, what are the statistics for child abuse?
Well, there's a number of statistics that are out there, number of studies that have been done, but as far as what is reported to our knowledge, there's roughly about 5 children that die per day as a result of child abuse, and 80% of those children are under the age of 4.
Wow.
And out of all the different types of child abuse that's out there, about 79% of those is neglect cases.
Neglect, okay. And how is that in the military community? Is that any different?
That I'm not too sure of, but to my understanding, they're roughly about the same. Whether you're in the civilian world or in the military community, it's roughly about the same.
Okay. And what are the different types of child abuse?
There are 4 different types. There is child neglect, there is child physical, child sexual, and child emotional. With child emotional, basically what that is any act against a child that causes any undue fear, any anxiety, or any psychological symptoms that result of it. Then with child sexual, that's involving a child in any kind of sexual act for the pure purpose of sexual gratification or for financial benefit. Then with physical, it's any non-accidental act upon a child. So, anything like, punching a child, pushing them over, hitting them, kicking them, things of that sort. Then the last is neglect, which is failure to provide necessary items for a child, such as shelter, medical, dental, food, education, and supervision.
Okay. And how would you recognize if a child was being abused, and how would you go about reporting it?
There are a number of indicators for each one, and I mean, it's a huge laundry list. But typically, you can kind of tell if a child's being abused, especially like, say, physical abuse. If you see a grown adult that's punching a small child, it's pretty obvious. But when you're looking at something like emotional abuse, that's where it gets kind of difficult. And it, like if you're working in a child care facility and you see, let's say, a parent is talking to a child saying, you're stupid, how can you do that? And they're talking to them in a very harsh manner, or they're a parent maybe, or even a child care worker is excessively yelling at a child, cussing them out, things of that sort. It's pretty easy to recognize, but without the physical evidence, that's where it kind of makes it difficult as far as reporting. Okay. But regardless, whether or not, even if you're not sure, always err on the side of the child. So the recommendation is to call PMO. They are always going to be the first responder, always. Another option that's available is 1-800-4-A-CHILD. Either or, you can make a report anonymously. So if you call PMO, you don't have to say, hey, this is my name and I'm reporting suspected child abuse. You can say, I would like to report anonymously, and be able to do so.
Okay. And in cases of child abuse, it also relates to domestic violence, spousal abuse.
Yes.
Is that often the case?
Yeah, oftentimes when there are domestic cases involved, typically there is child abuse. There is some type of a child abuse component, and it doesn't necessarily mean that the child's being physically abused. If a child is seeing especially parents that are kind of going at it, whether they're hitting each other, or they're cussing each other out, arguing, if the child is witnessing that, that is a form of emotional abuse. Okay. That has an impact on a child, and that's what we look at when we're looking at child abuse cases, is what is the act and what is the impact.
Okay. And you have some classes and resources available, correct?
Yes, we do. And I just want to say, Kathy, that the questions that you've been asking are great. I'm sitting here and I'm learning from Jessie just listening to you. And what we really want to do is we want to call on the community as a whole. We want this to be a coordinated community response where we have CDC workers looking out for the kids. We have the kids, the teachers in the school, the parents, the neighbors, the babysitters, and we have a lot of resources available. What we really want to do is promote happy, healthy families and families that are resilient to stress, because we do live hard lives, you know, military community, living in a foreign country, it can be stressful. So some of the things that we offer at Behavioral Health Family Advocacy Program, we have some classes and some groups that we hold. We have stress management, and stress management is a great group for any type of adult parent, whether you're a single parent, even if you're just active duty and you don't have any kids. We have active duty participants, we have spouses. It's a good mix of people there. We also have anger management group, and we have couples communication for couples who are wanting to grow stronger together in their relationship and build skills together. And then we also have New Parent Support Program, and New Parent Support Program offers a whole bunch of services. They offer services from the time the parent finds out they're pregnant all the way until the child reaches age 5. They have a lot of fun classes and trainings for parents to learn skill building.
Okay, now there's also child supervision guidelines that we should go through. When can you leave your child alone in a car, or how long they can be at home alone?
If you have those kind of questions, then you can come into Family Advocacy and get one of these handy-dandy yellow cards. And it goes through per the age range, and it goes through you know, whether or not a child can be alone overnight in the house, whether or not they can babysit, if they can be left in the car for a certain period of time or if at all, and a little bit more information in regards to the supervision.
And starting at the age of 12, they can be left at home for a short period of time, and if they are CPR certified, they can watch a sibling.
Yeah, they have a babysitter course through the Red Cross, and so it is recommended that once your child reaches that age to where they can stay at home for a certain period of time to take that course, especially if they have other siblings that they might be watching over.
And I think one of the big things to look out for, especially with summer coming around and it getting hot, is if you have a young one, to know what age they can be left alone in the car. Because you know,
and
parents,
what is the age?
That would be, let's see, 10 to 11 with the keys removed for up to 15 minutes.
15 minutes they can be left alone in the car.
Yes.
Without the key. So no AC, no radio, they just have to be with the windows down in the car. Okay.
Yeah, and the thought process with that is with removing the keys from the car, it's to prevent the child from starting the car up and taking off. So,
Great. Anything else you guys want to talk about today?
Oh no, that's it. Thank you so much for having us.
How can people get a hold of you?
Okay, if they want to call us, they can reach us at 645-2915. They can reach the New Parent Support Program that way as well. And we also have the victim advocates up there. If you need any victim advocacy services while you're here on island, we have 3 of them here to support you. They are very hard workers and they're really knowledgeable and here to provide resources and assistance to victims.
Great, and all that information is available on their website as well.
Yes. And with victim advocacy services, we cover domestic abuse, we work with non-offending parents in child abuse cases, and we work with victims of sexual assault as well. And SAPR has new civilian victim advocates to support the sexual assault victims.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kathy.
For more information, be sure to check out our website at mccsokinawa.com. Stay tuned, we're right back with more MCCS TV.